Large health systems have become the latest target of cyber criminals. Earlier this summer, Ascension Genesis, which operates in 19 states, including here in mid-Michigan, was the victim of a cyber attack. It forced some of its 140 hospitals to divert ambulance service and even caused patients to postpone medical tests. And McLaren Flint has become the most recent health system, a victim of a criminal cyber attack, and now the city of Flint. Dr. George Corser is chair of the Department of Computer Science and Information at Saginaw Valley State University. He joins us now to explain more about the cyber attacks and how we protect ourselves from it. Dr. Corser, thanks for joining us.
Happy to be here.
So what are the most common types of cyber attacks?
Well, phishing, where they're trying to get somebody to answer an email and engage them in some kind of fraud, is a big common one. You mentioned ransomware. That's one that is more focused toward corporations than for individuals. But there's really a long list of them. We try to keep track of them all, and they're changing every year.
And so, well, let's talk about ransomware in particular. It appears that large health systems are becoming targets of these ransomware attacks. And is it more money in targeting these health systems for the cyber criminals?
The short-term gain for the cyber criminals is definitely money. They're going to keep on attacking these places. Like this is the second attack on McLaren, right? So they're going to keep on attacking them until they don't have any more money or they secure their systems. But I'm not sure you recall, in the past they were attacking water supply and sewer systems. And so not only are they financial gangs, trying to make money, but there's also governments that are, Iran is famous for it, China, Russia, that have that work with these gangs to try to use it for political and not military, but basically strategic purposes.
And Dr. Corser, is it something that the user does that activates these attacks? So if I'm clicking on something on my computer, could I activate the attack?
Well, yes. I mean, if a program is going to be installed on your computer, usually you have to click on it. That you can't just email it. But if you click on this link in an email, it can load a piece of software from the web, and then anything can happen after that. So you do have to be careful of what you click on.
Okay, and it's usually some sort of link that's attached to this.
It'll be a file. Mm-hmm. It's not always easy to detect. I mean, even smart people can get caught in these things. There's a lot of things that companies can do to protect their systems that will protect against these errors, but basically it's a built-in vulnerability. People who have high levels of access to computers, if they answer an email and click on something, it can absolutely be downloaded, and it could affect a lot of other users.
And you mentioned protection. So very quickly, tell us, how do you protect yourself, or do systems protect themselves from a cyber attack?
So as an individual person, the best thing to do is just be suspicious of email. But nobody's perfect, right? Anybody could have a bad situation, right? If you click a link and you see files, all of a sudden, you see a line in the bottom of your screen. There's things happening to your computer. If it's a desktop, unplug it. Kill the power. With a laptop, a lot of times it's something where you can't remove the battery like you could in the old days. So there's not a lot you can do, but you can hit Control-Alt-Delete, try to stop the computer at that point. You could at least disconnect the internet by pulling the cable or turning off the Wi-Fi, possibly. Those are emergency situations. From a strategic long-term standpoint, what you can do as a company is set up different segments of the computer, so the personnel department and the accounting department and the patient data department aren't necessarily on the same physical systems, so that even if they get one branch, they don't get the whole enterprise.
Yeah, is
There's
that
a lot
like
of things
partitioning
you can
it? When you partition?
We call it segmenting it when it's on a network. Mm-hmm. But yeah, partitioning it if you partition drives on your own personal laptop, you're kind of virtually making two separate drives. But in a computer network, you usually segment it. You give it separate IP addresses. But all large enterprises have IT departments, incident response teams that know how to handle this. And it pays to have consultants come in and invest and make sure that your organization can protect against it. The other thing that I noticed that the Attorney General had said is there's no laws against announcing to the public when somebody's data is breached in Michigan. Other states have those laws. if you put those laws in place, it is possible that it'll cause the corporate community to pool together their resources to try to protect it as a group, because we really need to kind of circle the wagons to protect ourselves.
Dr. George Courser is chair of the Department of Computer Science and Information at Saginaw Valley State University. Thank you for joining us this afternoon.
Thanks, Don.